also want to thank everybody for coming, the Ethical Society, putting this on. This is something I've never done before, so bear with me. I'll give it my best shot here. Lloyd, thank you for going over the extra stuff. I actually had some of that in my notes as well. I think the other thing a lot of people forget when you talk about tax cuts is that they function more like steps than an elevator. So that as your income grows, as you hit a new tax level, your entire tax rate doesn't jump to that percentage. It's just up to 6,000% was what it 15% or
yeah, I don't have the steps here, but yeah.
And that's how it works. I mean, so basically, what we're talking about is for just not people making incomes over $250,000, but income over that level. So I mean, basically, this doesn't affect any income of anyone under $250,000. So even people who make $1 billion a year, that first $250,000 is not affected by this tax code at all, which is something. So I mean, it's only the rate we're talking about here is at least on the income side is going from the 35 to 39.6%. So I'm here to argue in favor of not extending Bush tax cuts. And I guess right off the bat, I want to kind of turn that around and say, well, the Bush tax cuts are going to expire. That's the other side of this coin, is that no matter what, anything we do, budget projections will have to be changed. We'll have to take that money and kind of figure out, well, where are we going to get this? Where are we not going to get it? So that's the other side of this. And based on that argument, my main point that I would argue in favor of not extending these is basically because we cannot responsibly afford to extend the tax cut for such a small number of people. The tax cut will cost roughly $700 billion over the next 10 years for a very small number of people, which is only the top 2% of filers in the country. Which, when you look at it, that's 98% of people will not be affected by this tax increase, as it's been called. So for the vast majority of people, this will have no effect at all. The money that can be used, from this income, can be used in a variety of ways. We can take that money and we can do nothing with it, because as the CBO projects, Congressional Budget Office projects that actually any tax cut expansion will harm the economy in the long run, because tax cuts are not stimulative enough to actually pay for themselves. So doing nothing and just taking the money and just paying down the deficit is more stimulative than a tax cut. On the other side of that, you have direct government spending. And direct government spending is shown to be about 3 times more productive than a tax cut. You get about 60 cents for every dollar. If on a tax cut, you get about $2.50 or $3 for every dollar in tax cut. Based on the Obama stimulus plan, for every $1, and this proved to be true, $1 of every private investment, you get about $1 of every public investment from the government. You had $3 of private investment, which is a great return. This led to the end of the recession that started at the end of the Bush term, and was responsible for bringing us out of one of the worst recessions we've had since the Great Depression. And so, I mean, that fiscal responsibility is really my main point. I know Lloyd talked about a few things about small governments, abolishing the income for people making under $100,000 a year. And I think it's interesting that I think you only have about 10% of people in this country that file and receive incomes of $100,000 or more. So you already have a large number of people that don't pay nearly as many taxes as people above that level. So that's very interesting. there are other things about the stimulus that we kind of talk about why that is, but I think that's, we'll talk about that kind of more specifically later.
Yeah,